Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here. I gotta talk about this. Um, I was up late last night. Don't know why. Well, I know why, but I was up late last night. Happened to watch Angry Man channel. Good brother and good brother. Good topic about. He did. I actually did two live segments regarding Levar Ball. One of the guys was on that he spoke with. I actually kind of mixed up with. And what I'm finding out, and some of the people that were on there was making stupid ass comments. And then, yeah, I'm gonna say stupid ass comments because my thing is this: some people were trying to exalt LeVar Ball as another Donald Trump. I was like, are you fucking serious? He's not even close to being Donald Trump. How the hell can you make some stupid ass statement like that? Oh, he knows Donald Trump. No, the fuck he ain't. He's not even close. You know, he don't even have Donald Trump's wealth. He got kind of guy's bravado and stupidity, but he don't have his wealth. You know, but my thing is this: some of y'all black people want to prop up a guy who hasn't even proven himself yet. The NBA don't even recognize his son yet. You know, I know I heard that he's been put in for the draft. And I'm not sure if he's ready or not ready yet. But I know one thing for certain: LeVar Ball is putting his son's career in jeopardy right now by talking more than he needs to. I still say that, and I'll tell anybody that he is. That's a fact. You know, the shoes, I still think, to be honest, was a bit much. I understand him trying to be an entrepreneur. You know, I'm a struggling entrepreneur myself. You know, I understand that. But who the fuck he think gonna pay $500 for a pair of tennis shoes when you got shoes by more well-known, established NBA ballers who either became legends or becoming legends, whose shoes cost half the price of that right now, you know? And I'm like, really? For the price of what you pay for those Zo2s, is what they call them, named after his son. For the price of what you pay for the Zo2s, hell, you could have bought you a pair of LeBrons and Jordans for almost the same price combined. You know, that's why I say it's a to me it's a bit of a ripoff on that. You know, and then nobody knows the quality of those shoes. They won't even be out officially as far as from what I read until November. You know. The ironic thing is they said he sold 5,000 pair already. I mean, can people be that crazy? You know, I understand people say, well, we want to get a jump on history. No, y'all want to get a jump on being able to buy those shoes and then sell them for double for somebody who hasn't even been proven yet as a great talent. People, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that you even heard about his father's overrated mouth, you wouldn't even know that the kid even played ball. That I will say. But, like I said again, his father has to allow his greatness to shine on his own. And I know somebody was telling me last night in the comments, well, LeBron's mom this, LeBron's mom was that. LeBron's mom did allow him to shine on his own. Okay? Jordan shined on his own. Okay? All those guys was coming up. You didn't hear the parents all over the place talking about this, that, and the other. They love doing their own thing. You know? LeBron James, who's from my hometown, or near my hometown, Akron, Uh, he built. I mean, he's a brand now. He's a worldwide brand, like a Jordan or a Kobe or somebody. Okay, and everybody knew about who he was. And let's face it, he built a name for himself. But unfortunately, he didn't have a father there for him. You know. But he built his own brand. Okay? You didn't hear, I mean, you really didn't hear a whole lot about his mom talking about him like that anyway. His mom got publicity because of the fact of what she was doing outside, outside everything else. You know? That's another whole story. I won't even go there. But you guys out here trying to prop up LeVar Ball. Oh, he's a baller. He's a businessman. He's not even a proven businessman yet. He's a guy who just started a brand. So what's one fool last night about, well, he got other stuff he saw. That's not the fucking point. The point was focusing on the shoes, you dumbass. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, come on. The shoes is the focal point of the brand right now. Just the main focal point. You know why? Because none of the other shoe companies wanted to have him endorse their product because he's not a proven brand yet. You know, y'all talking about it's part of history. Fuck all that. It ain't part of history yet because he hadn't been proven any real history yet, other than the fact that he's a good baller, not a great one. He hasn't been proven. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't been proven to be a great baller yet, anyway, even in college. You know, I barely heard about it. It wasn't for the fact that his father was such a brat, such was all over the place, you would never hear about this kid. I didn't hear about this kid all last year. I didn't start hearing about this kid till March. Okay? And my thing is, yeah, his father could put a brand out shoes if he want to, and he's entitled to that. You know, if he wants to make money on son doing it, that's fine. But at least give the son a chance to shine on his own. With you had to be ground him like a carnival barker over his head, man. That's all I'm saying. Let the young man shine on his own. Let the other kids do the same thing, shine their own. You know, if anything, you should be in the background. You know, I could see him doing that. But don't sit there and be out on front trying to run his life. I think that's wrong. And I don't give a fuck what any of y'all say. Half y'all would be saying the same thing if you was in the same situation he was in. Like, man, I don't want my dad had to, let me do my thing, man. Let him do his thing. That's all I'm saying. He don't need to be that far out front like that. All up, like he's the one that's out there on the court. He ain't out there on the court. And I heard from published many sources and published reports, LeVar Ball himself wasn't even that great of a baller. You know, I think he needs to pull back. I still say that. He needs to pull back off of that. Get behind the scenes and do stuff behind the scenes. You know, if you really want to be there to make your sons, allow your sons to shine, pull back, let him go out there and get his own hustle on. Pull back a little bit. You know, if you want to go behind the scenes or whatever and say, I'm going to make these, my sales products on the side without having to go through all of that, that's fine. You know? Build a brand behind the scenes, that's fine. But to sit there and you all on TV every damn night, shucking and grinning, come on, dude. Let them kids fly on their own. You know? Stop trying to embarrass your sons. Let them fly out there on their own. Let them do their own thing, and allow them to make their own life. You know? You're trying to build you a new life around their life. And as a father, you gotta let them fly. You know? My son's 25, or will be 25, and, he's out there doing his things on his own. I'm not under him every 2 seconds. He comes visit. We talk, we hang out, we have dinner, whatever. We watch the games or whatever. And he talks about, his endeavors and his work and all of that. And, that's what he does. I'm not on his job trying to tell him how to work, because to be honest, frankly, I don't think that would work out too well. I shouldn't be. You gotta let him be his own man, At some point, Levar Ball, son, is going to let him know that, But Levar think, hey, I did this. No, the only thing you did was raise 3 sons. That one I give you credit for. As far as their talents, you probably helped them hone their talents. I give you some credit for that. But at some point, once they learn, once they're out there doing their thing, you gotta let them fly. You know how birds, they nurture their young. They teach them how to eat. They teach them to get resources. Once they learn that, after a while, they hang out with the parents, whatever. At some point, they get too big for the nest. You know what they do? They kick them out and let them fly on their own. At some point, your sons are going to leave the nest, and they will have to learn to fly on their own. They ain't going to need you to be a rah-rah church team 24/7 once they get past a certain age. At some point, you got to let them learn how to fly on their own, make their own mistakes, and let them learn from it on their own. As a father, that's what I had to do. And you know what? I feel so much better and so much confident in my son as a result of me allowing him to be his own man. I'll admit, for me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I saw him make mistakes when he lived at home. I said, damn, is he going to be around his own? He went to college for 4 years. And I know he got in some mess in college, and I talked to him a couple times, and we get it straight. He got mad, he hung up the phone me a couple times, it was okay. But that's about as far as I went. I didn't go driving to college every weekend checking on him. I didn't do that. But at some point, you gotta let him do his own thing. It's called stepping back, letting him be your man. That's what you gotta do. The business part, I could probably understand. Okay? That one, I really get that. I truly do. But even with that, be humble. You got 3 sons that got basketball skills. All right? And I understand you being proud of them. I get that. I get that from a personal level. As a father who's raised a son. I get that a lot. Even me and my son had a discussion about this. What I don't get, and I'll say it again, what I don't get is you not allowing them to develop their own skills. That, I don't get at all, boss. I don't get that at all. I really freaking don't. That I don't get. What you gotta do? Again, say, son, you go do your thing. You go ahead. You want to get in the draft? I'll support you on it. And when you get in that draft, I'll go ahead. We'll do this little side thing. I'm going to stay out of it. I'll let you wear the brand. And we'll go from there. That's what being a man's all about. Let your son learn how to fly on his own. But you got to man up and let that happen. That's all there is to it. This is DJ Wolf. I had to say what I had to say about this because, you know, a lot of black people support him cowering over his kids. I ain't one of them. You know? Some of y'all like that. You know? And yeah, I've called some of y'all out about it. You know? Like I said, I don't have a problem with the business part. I have a problem him always up in his kid's business and now allowing to fly on their own. That's all I got to say about it. Of course, questions or comments for all to hear TV and for all to hear on Twitter. Get at me. DJ Wolf Live on Facebook and DJ Wolf online at yahoo.com. That's all I got. This is DJ Wolf. I got more to say about this and other stuff on the back burner. Of course,